Hey guys, welcome to an episode of Pretty Naughty by the way with Jazz and Tay. It's your girl Jazz
Shantae.
and we you stop.
Already.
Shantae, I know. She was over here talking about let's keep it together, okay? And she knows that with Pretty Naughty, the intro's always gonna come in a different energy, okay?
I'm sorry, it threw me.
It was a little sexy,
I was like,
sexy, right?
"Whoa, okay. Pretty naughty.
Hey, I'm okay with it. I'm cool with it.
Oh,
Today, as you can hear, we have a special guest with us, Marcus G. Baby. Say what's up.
What's up, everybody? It is the kid Marcus G, baby. Finally got the opportunity to be here with Tay and Jazz, and I'm looking forward to it. Thank you for having me. Like straight up. Thank you.
No,
That's
thank
good.
you. I believe you
Facts.
are you? Is he our first official Pretty Naughty guest?
Yes.
Yes. So thank you for being with us today. That's
Wow.
exciting. Yes, and we're so excited that you are a man. Like, hello.
Get a little testosterone in the building real quick, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that was kind of the goal with Pretty Naughty, was that like we wanted to talk about more adult and mature content or
Yeah.
stuff, but like we always have kind of the same perspective. So I was like, let's get some men in here so that we can see what
Yeah.
they're doing, how they feel
Yeah,
about these same
facts.
types of topics.
Back. It's a new age, let's face it. Like it's a new, like I guess with dating in particular, it's an interesting time. We got the pandemic, online is like popping. Everything goes through apps, everybody has all these options. And so I kind of want to come, I guess, like give people a chance to like, I guess, be a catalyst and get information because we want to hear what girls think and we want to hear what guys think. And so I ask questions weekly to just get perspective. And honestly, I have to be honest and say I have learned a ton myself. Hopefully, other people have learned, and it's been a productive, like I guess, situation to be able to just really learn about women because I love women, and like I want to know the most I can about and learn the most I can about you guys. So, facts.
Absolutely. We appreciate that. Learn all you can.
For sure.
Because y'all could be some complicated.
I was about to say
creatures,
we
let's
are
face it.
complex.
No,
We are
same.
complex.
Face it.
Men are just as complex. Let's be real.
I
with
think
it.
men are
Are
not.
you sure about that,
I don't
Jazz?
want to offend
feel
our
like-
guest, but I think they're pretty simple.
No. Hey. Actually, the opposite. I take that as a compliment. Now, like,
Give
you kinda
yourself
have
more credit. Damn.
you kind of have to like, have to be careful because you kind of have, it's like things are a little sensitive these days.
Absolutely.
But I do agree. In this sense, sorry, Jazz, I have to agree with Tay. Because I feel like men are so simple that it's like we're so simple that it's confusing to you guys how simple we are. And for women, I don't know. Men are dogs, women are cats. That's the best way to put it.
Meow.
and when I
She's
say,
like, well, you lost me there. Like,
okay, sorry.
Run it back.
Sorry.
Women are what?
I said men are like dogs and women
Uh-huh.
are like cats. In a sense,
They are complex.
a man is everything that you see at the surface.
Right.
Typically, what you see at the surface or what you feel at the surface is what you get. A woman might walk up to you and say, "Pet me, show me attention," and pet me. But the minute that you pet her and show her attention, she wants to walk away and she doesn't want your attention anymore. And that's the difference between a dog and a cat.
Wow.
No, that's
I feel so red. But no, absolutely. No, but I totally feel that because it's like I can think about that in like certain guys and that I've like dealt with. And absolutely, like they've let it be known from the jump who they are, the type of person that they are, what they like, all that kind of stuff, how they'd like to do things. And it's been consistent, like that's the kind of thing. Like that's how I take that because that's very simple. That's very like through and through. That's simple.
It's
But
very
yeah,
simple.
we are definitely
We're super complex.
So can I ask you two? Honestly, and I'm not trying to kiss ass, I'm just being real. Being two staples in the city, you guys are like consistently like grinding. You guys are doing a lot of different things. You're motivated. You guys are putting your brand out there and you're working. Do you guys intimidate guys that try to shoot their shot at you two?
Absolutely.
I've been told.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I know it for a fact.
Yes. That's literally why I feel like I don't like there's not many guys
There's
that
not options.
like what?
It's so terrible.
You pretty much have to mess with someone who's like, I don't want to say on the same level because when you say levels, it almost sounds, I don't want to say higher or lower, but you have to mess with someone who's in the same playing field as far as everything that you're like invested in.
Right.
Otherwise, you guys, and that's why I was really curious, and I wanted to ask you guys, like, I'm sure they intimidate a lot of men.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I've been told.
My stepdad's told me that since I was like in high school.
Yeah, and I never really truly understood it or believed it until like it kind of started. I don't know. Things started clicking. Things started making sense, and like how certain guys like would even just talk to me
like,
and
oh my gosh, I can't believe you like me.
Yeah, or just like, oh wow, you're talking to me, and it's like,
have some confidence,
right? Why wouldn't I talk to you?
Is that a turn off for you two?
Yes.
When guys come like that, that's like an instant turn off.
Yes.
100%.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's almost like
confidence.
you don't even look at it as like humility. You look at it as like you just not confident in yourself.
No, and that
I think it would be like, okay, on certain times, maybe. I think it depends on how much you're doing it. If you're always like, oh my God, I can't believe you're talking to me. Oh my God, you're still talking to me. And like, I've been around, I'm like, I feel like I'm interested. Like,
it could even be in like the delivery or like the approach of it too, of just like, you know, like you can bring it up one time of just like, you know, I'm glad I took that chance, or like, you know, whatever, because I didn't think that we'd be here. And like,
it could be like, oh, I'm just the luckiest guy ever.
Some
That's
shit like that.
Cool.
Leave it like that.
But to be like, the fact that I even have a chance, I'm like,
it makes me kind of feel like, or just like sometimes guys can even get like braggy about it, and it just like makes me then feel like I'm a trophy, or like I'm an acquisition or something, and it's just like, no.
So okay, but you're like kind of crossing over into too cocky or too confident.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So
that's
you'll
a
run into
different.
that
Sorry,
too?
you're right. Yes, that's a different.
Okay. Okay, interesting. Because I find that all very interesting because like when I first attempted to try to speak to Tay, she ran away from me. So okay, look, story time.
All right.
Yeah, right. Let's clarify this because I want to get both. I want to get both perspectives.
I want to hear both sides of the story too.
Oh no! Oh, there's no both sides. There's one story.
What?
So,
I want to hear it because I don't even really honestly remember the night.
So Lincoln Square. Let me look in the camera. Lincoln Square. Well, I'm out with my homies. We had a tremendous, like, a fun night. I think it was my Lucky Strike Tay. Lucky Strike. And she's with a few of her homegirls. Now, mind you, I had never met her. We had never spoke. We had the Instagram where like we followed each other and everything was cool. It was like a picture, comment, everything was cordial, but we had never like officially met in person. And so it's one of those things. I'm sure you guys see people like on the gram in real life. It's like, oh, like you look familiar, but right.
Yes, but sometimes I don't always be knowing.
Okay,
this is his story because I'm gonna.
Yes. No, I hear you. And
go ahead.
That's totally fair because sometimes you don't. Sometimes
go ahead. No, tell your story.
I see her, and I kind of give her the head nod, like, oh, you look familiar, because I saw her pictures. I liked a bunch of her pictures. Like I'm already knowing, like, oh, I know her from Instagram, and she looks and acknowledges me. Like she gives me the dues, kind of like, hey, like acknowledges me. And I'm like, oh shit. So like I'm with I'll never forget this. I'm with my man Dot, and I think I'm with a couple other like homies. And I'm kind of like, I walk, I'm like just got the cut. I'm kind of like, I'm about to go talk to her. When I tell you she did, like it was a track warm-up jog where you're like you know, like the chicks who were about to sprint the 100-meter dash and they jog together. It was like that. She hit the and I was like, oh, she must have like somebody must have dropped something and she must be catching up to give it to. No, she jogged to the elevator. Peace, gone.
I'm fucking dead.
And so I was like, now I don't like typically, honestly, like me. Typically when something like that happens, I'm not gonna lie. Usually I'm like, man, fuck him. Like whatever, fuck it, like whatever. Honestly, it kind of bothered me. So like,
okay. I guess okay.
It kind of bothered me. So
because you know that you guys know each other, right?
Yes.
Or like know each other. Okay.
So Tay, tell me if I'm lying. Tell the people if I'm lying. I messaged on Instagram, and I'm like, yo, that shit wasn't cool. Like, what the fuck, right? And I'm like, that's like not okay. Like, I was with like friends. You embarrassed me. That was rude. And honestly, seriously, she handled it super gracefully and was like, yo, I'm really sorry. Like, and she handled it like really gracefully. And we talked for a second, and like everything's cool. So I'll say the way that you handled it, like I appreciate it, respect. But just so everybody could know, the first time that I met her in person, she literally, not figuratively, she literally ran away from me. Fact.
Can I just
Can
I just really quickly state my case?
You got the floor, girl. It's yours.
There's not much to say. Even like, I'm really sorry hearing it back. I'm really embarrassed. I have to say, like, I honestly don't, like, I hate to have to say this out loud. I don't remember that much of that night, but I do kind of remember that. And all I remember was that my friends kept telling me to stopping because they were trying to get back to the hotel. Yeah. And so I'm that person that's always stopping for people. And I'm like, hey, friend, like, let's talk. And they're like, Shantae, we're trying to get back so we can eat. And that's all I can. Sorry, that's all I can think of is that, like, we were on a mission to get back to the hotel. But like, I had to like go back and ask my friend because I was like, did I run away from someone last night? Like, I don't even remember like seeing anybody that I might have known or might not have known. And she was like, yeah, there was some guy by Lucky Strike. And I was like, oh, so you know the whole thing. I'm like, what happened though? Like, I'm sorry, that's embarrassing.
Was there a lot of alcohol involved that night?
Girl, it was Megan's birthday.
Oh,
but no, look.
It was right.
Honestly,
okay.
You handled it like a G. I forgive you. It's a funny story now. But the funniest part was her homegirl. And when she did that, her homegirl looks at me. She's like, sorry. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, you know, thanks, appreciate it.
Like, I wonder if it was Megan.
Probably, I could see Megan making that face. Totally.
But it was so sweet. It was just like, it was so like, hey, like, I'm sorry.
Oh man, I don't even understand. I don't know. That was a great night. Outside of that and that's happening. Like, for me, I was having a great time. I was all over the place.
And my man, like, I kind of came back, and my boy was just like, he's like, I thought you said you knew her, bud. Like,
I feel so bad.
It is all honestly.
I'm sorry, that sounds so funny.
But I'll kind of move away from that. And
please do, because damn, okay.
Yeah, I'm like put hello. Yeah, it was.
Next time I see you, I won't run away.
Hey, if you do a second time, I can't tell you how I'm gonna react. Like,
that just might be how I greet you from now on.
Right. It's gotta become a thing now.
Oh, got it.
If someone would have told me, yo, she's gonna run away from you, and then one day you're gonna end up doing a podcast with her, I would have never believed that.
I'm dead.
You were upset.
But so to like kind of I guess go back to the questions. Yes. The way that it started was about like 2 years ago, and that was before I had met either of you. And I started with a question, and I didn't even do any before, and I was genuinely curious because I kept hearing the term fuckboy. I kept hearing that term get thrown around, especially by women. So I have some girlfriends, and I hear it get thrown, and I'm like, dude, and you hear it, but I'm like, what's really qualities of a fuckboy? Like, what are? So I went to my story, and that was before the emojis and before the cues and like everything you guys see, and I genuinely just asked, and some girls answered, and so I was like, huh, okay, and so and that's kind of the start. That was the very first poll I ever took.
Very dope.
And so I guess I can kind of start with that to you two. What are qualities of a fuckboy?
Oh, let's see. Look at my ex-boyfriend.
Someone who gaslights you. Ooh. Someone who's manipulative. Someone who fucking has no ambition.
Okay, that's a good start.
That's actually just a turn off. The first two were real. The last one was a turn off.
Okay.
I would characterize as a fuckboy as well.
I feel like fuckboys are people who just like would rather lie to keep you around rather than just like be upfront about what it is.
Manipulate, and gaslight you.
Right. Sorry. Yeah.
Like, they're trying to keep it copacetic so that you're always there. They keep you on ice.
Okay.
Yeah. So, someone who doesn't know what they want, but knows that they want you a little bit, but not enough to make a commitment to you.
Okay, so question, and where I feel like it gets dicey with some women.
Right.
Have you ever met a guy that you're like, okay, I can pinpoint, like I can identify him as a fuckboy, but damn, I kind of like him.
Oh, absolutely. And then that's why it's important to establish what it is from the jump. Like, you
Yeah.
know what this is. This isn't going to be anything beyond
I feel
like
like women have to, in that moment, figure out what they're looking for.
Right.
And if it depends on what you're trying to do with
because a
this
physical
person.
attraction is different than like an emotional or like
Oh, absolutely.
yeah, you know. So it's like, yes, I can identify a fuckboy and know like, oh, I definitely want to fuck you, but that's it.
That's it.
But that's it.
Yeah.
Okay, no. Have you ever? Okay, I get that. Has it
My
ever
bad.
been like? No. It's fine. Has it ever been like? Okay, same thing. I could like you have qualities of a fuckboy, but I'm actually kind of feeling you for real. Like,
Oh,
Yes.
understood. Okay, yes,
Absolutely.
for sure.
like
For
past,
sure.
like beyond sexual. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
For sure.
Absolutely.
So what do you do in that situation? Like, how do you handle that?
I cut that off. he's so toxic for me. He has like there's this one guy that for like 8 years I've been in love with. It's been like this whole like friends with benefits thing. I personally can't get past it, even though I see how he treats me. It sucks. And for a while it was like, it's all right because I'm not really trying to date. So I got that right now. But to know that it's not gonna ever be anything. But he's just keeping me in this like he's living rent free in my mind. And I'm like, he hits me up all the time because he knows when I stop contacting him, I'm losing interest. So he's
That's
like,
the
let me pop
part.
back up.
That's the part.
What you doing tonight? When are you
Pop-up
free
nigga.
again?
Ooh.
A pop-up nigga. Popcorn pop-up nigga. Oh, I heard myself come back. Cut him off. He's toxic. I don't want it. I don't want that. Like,
Yeah.
you have to decide what you're trying to do. And if that's not it, bye.
And I think that's what makes it the most toxic is you're able, because you're a smart woman and you're able to like step outside of the situation, which is hard for a lot of people to do, and say, damn, this is so poisonous and toxic, but I still like this dude.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I think a lot of girls don't talk about that, get caught in that trap. And people, I don't know. I feel like honestly as a dude, and that's why I try to do some of these things to bring awareness to it, is it's easy for us to get caught and he treats you like shit. Why are you fucking with this whack ass nigga? But it's way deeper than that. You know what I mean?
Oh,
it is.
always.
No, it really is.
Yeah.
Always.
It's funny that you say that too, because I think about how like we struggle with these types of like issues with guys or whatever, and there are people who like you say like might be intimidated by us, or like say people who like might look up to us who have the same kind of issues and like wouldn't even think that we would tolerate this type of like behavior,
dumb shit,
that kind of stuff. And it's just like, nope, we're human. We
exactly
fall victim to the same shit.
I literally just kind of like allowed it. I was like, I know what I'm doing and I know what I'm getting myself into.
Yeah.
And that's
I have to deal with the consequences.
I think I do a lot of like introspection. Like it's kind of like you gotta, like you said, take a step outside of yourself. But like for me, it's like, okay, I'm cool to deal with this. Like it's not like for me, it's not bothering me or it's not wearing on my soul.
Yes,
or my mental health.
Enough to where it's like bad for you.
Because I'm all about my pleasure also.
Okay. So question from a dude's perspective. Now, a question that some of the dudes that might be watching and dudes that like, check y'all out and like might want to know from a guy's perspective. So we hear that side. On the other side now, since you are feeling them and a part of you does care about them, right? Say if he does drop off and you don't hear about him for a cool minute, don't lie. Are there ever times you check up on him like, what's he doing? Look at his story, look at his Instagram, ask one of the homegirls to check him out, figure out where he's at. Does he have a new girl? Do you ever do shit like that?
Okay, so stop. I'm not going to ask my friends to do nothing.
Yeah,
no.
I'm not doing it.
Like, if I get curious and if I want to like check and stuff, that's on me to do that. And if my feelings get hurt, that's on me.
Right.
But I'm not going to like ask my friends like, oh, hey, because, I have him blocked or whatever. Can you go check on him? Like,
I'm weak.
Be surprised.
No, for sure. I've done it. I have done it in the past. I totally have. I've definitely done that in the past.
Okay.
But yeah, no, it's one of those things to where it's like, if I want to get my feelings hurt, that's going to be on me and solely on me.
Right.
To do. Yeah, for sure.
Right.
That's a very mature answer.
I mean,
that's real.
Because here's the thing. I've done it and my feelings have been hurt. And it's just like, well, if I keep doing it, you're going to get the same results. So it is like, yeah.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So I guess so it's that easy for y'all? Like it's just that easy to just like drop them?
No.
No,
No,
never.
not at all.
That's
Okay,
the pro-
you're saying okay.
that's
I
the
got it.
problem. That's the
That's
problem.
right.
It's like at some point you have to. I feel like for me in my situation, it's I'm choosing myself for once.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm just kind of like over that. I don't want to continue to do that, and it's like I now know what I want and what I need, and I know he's not ever giving that to me.
Okay, facts.
So I'm like, why am I still here? I could get exactly what he's giving me from someone else. And hey, there might be a potential for it to grow into so much more than that.
Okay.
And I'm
Facts.
just like, we've got this history. It's the way he's my friend. Like, and I feel like at this point, I'm kind of like, I would love for us to get to a point where it's just that. Like, we are just friends. I will always care about you. I will always like, have a soft spot. If you ever need anything, I got you. But like outside of that, we don't really need to deal with each other in any
Okay.
other way.
I respect that. Okay, so we got that. Another question that some of the dudes might want to know.
Oh,
Do Jazz and Tay have a type?
I ain't got no type.
Hey, bad bitches.
Bad bitches is the only thing that I like. Hey.
So this is complicated for me because I like both boys and girls.
Okay.
So I tend to go for like a pretty girl. I like girls who tend to favor me, honestly. It's weird.
Okay. Fair enough.
I like curly haired, light skinned girls. Yeah.
Okay.
That sounds really weird. Anyways.
Do you kind of have a preference, or is it just like either way?
It's weird because like, I vibe. I'm a very much like I do go a lot of off like physical attraction, but I do also go a lot of like connections and like if I vibe well with you. So like you don't have to be the most like attractive person in the world, but like I still might dig you and like be interested in you. Yeah.
Okay. Facts.
Yeah. But yeah, as far as like so like girls, that same thing goes for guys and girls, but I tend to favor that. And then with guys, I like them to be a little bit bigger, burlier, hairier. That sounds weird. I like bears, I guess.
Hey.
You like your guys the opposite of the way you like your girls.
Yeah,
Okay.
right, yeah.
So
But
you want like a man's man. You want like
but it's weird because no, hear me out. We've talked about this like recently. Like I'm into guys like Harry Styles and like Bad Bunny as well. So like I do also favor, again, this is where it comes to like the vibes and like the intelligence kind of like connection as far as that kind of stuff goes. Intellectual connection is like, but they also can kind of do it both ways. Like Bad Bunny and Harry Styles have like a little bit of like a feminine touch to it, but still without being like too female presenting, if you know what I mean. Androgynous,
like
yeah.
Prince and Bowie.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
They were sex symbols.
Yeah, I saw something you posted on your story, Jazz, of like a guy that you were like, oh my, like it was a dude that you were, like kind of like, oh my, like, and he was very, how you say, I guess, individualistic word.
Yeah.
That's the word. Like he kind of had the Prince thing going on.
It was probably
like
Bad Bunny.
Okay.
Probably
so
Bad
I was like,
Bunny.
oh, but you kind of don't have a type, I guess. You weren't lying.
I really am kind of all over the place. I vibe.
Is this with the vibe? What about you, Tay? What about you?
Yeah, well, I like men. I'm strictly dickly. But I really don't have a type. I'm in a very explorative phase of my life, and so I'm dating anyone who wants to treat me right.
Okay, and that's any creed, any race.
That's beautiful right there. That's
I'm not
how you
dating
should
any
date.
Trump supporters.
Well, right.
Let's say that up front, but outside of that, yeah.
Okay, so as long as he's a good dude who treats you right.
I mean, like, results may vary, but yeah, for the most part.
Do you have like a body type or anything like that?
I do love black men. This is gonna sound really like fetishy, but I love
just say it.
I love Nigerian men a lot.
Hey, so they
really
got
do. Yeah.
And they got that accent too.
Yeah. And they generally tend to have really big
like
yeah, we'll get into that later, by the way.
I wasn't even trying to go there, but like Yeah, but I also like thicker men. Like I like a man's man. I love a beard.
Yes, I love hair. Did I say hair? I liked hair earlier.
You did.
Okay, just putting that back out there.
You said you like hairy men, yeah.
Like a bear.
Yeah, I remember the bear part. Okay, so I wanted to get you two's opinion on the question that we just. So we kind of like talked about it, like skimmed it at the beginning, but we didn't really like dive into it, and it was something that bothered the two of you. And I can't really ask you because it was a question for the men, but I kind of want to ask how you felt about it. So the question was, I asked the dudes, perfect girl, good, like compatible. She has a good character. The vibe is good. You're physically attracted to her. And you find out that she slept with 75 plus men. Could you still date her?
Right.
The end result was that 56% of men said that they could and that they wouldn't care. And then obviously, how the rest of the story goes. And so I wanted to know how you two felt about those numbers and how you felt about that poll, pretty much.
I thought the poll was a great question.
Very, very good question.
I feel like it was like a great way to launch into this pretty naughty. I was like, yeah, we're definitely having him on after this.
For sure. I have so much I want to say.
So much.
And honestly, so seriously, I'm asking because I seriously, I want to know each and every way you feel. And that's one of the main things is I just wanted to give you the floor and just like tell us how you felt about the number, about the responses. And if you don't remember, I could kind of refresh your memory and like give you some of the responses again. But for the most part, you guys got the floor, man.
Give us the ones that made people most mad.
Okay, yeah. So for starters, well, I'll give you because the dudes. So one guy said, "Do I know any of the guys?" And did she tell me? And he said, "Did she tell me herself? Did she tell me that was her number herself?" Another guy said, "Fuck, that's a toughie. I can't even vote." Another guy said, "I'm sure that we all had 3-year span in our early 20s that we hit 75 plus." This one guy said
3-year span.
this other guy said, "Bro, for real? So who's gonna be the who like just doesn't care?"
A real man. A real, right.
A real, yeah.
Like what?
This guy said, "I mean, I don't think it really matters. We all had wild periods, so double standard?" ?
Absolutely.
Double standard. That's okay. First and foremost, that's where we can start right there. That's where we can start and we can finish it because it's a double standard through and through.
Okay.
Yeah. That's really it.
Yeah. It's like if we can it's one of those things where it's like, if she's compatible and y'all are vibing and all that stuff, those types of things should probably already have been like discovered or discussed, and where it's like that should not be like the breaking point in this relationship or whatever y'all are doing. Like the number of whomever I've been with should not play a factor in our future or whatever we're building together.
I think that someone's STI, STD status
is way more important.
The thing that matters.
Thank you.
I could have sex with however many people. If I'm clean, you're fine.
So
what is the threat of having 70?
That's right. And that's the thing. So it's like, are you threatened because you haven't met that number and like you feel like
you have to ask that? You have to ask that to the 44% that said that they couldn't. Which is and that's why I was gonna ask you guys why is it that men care so much and women care so little?
I think because it's an expectation. I think it's because it's an expectation that men are going to have 75 plus bodies on them.
Yes. And women are pure and they're supposed to be waiting for that one man until marriage. Right. And
so the lower the number, the better, because
and we're not supposed to have sex for pleasure.
Right.
So if you're out here having sex for pleasure, you're automatically a whore, which is bullshit because that's all sex really is. And we procreate by it. Like, it's just a lot of bullshit.
That's really what it is. And then the pleasure.
But like, you're not always having a baby. The moment they created condoms and birth control, it became about pleasure.
Right.
All right. So it's just a stupid ass double standard.
Yeah,
and men,
it really is.
It's like, why do you feel away? And I also would love to know, like, how many times has a woman actually asked some of these men their number?
Well,
I have a question about a particular comment that I didn't get to yet.
Okay.
And I want to answer that. What was that question? Don't forget it. Don't forget
Like,
that question.
how many times have you been, like, how many women have actually asked you about your number?
Like ever since I was maybe like 21, never.
Exactly.
Like, by the way, I'm 20, 29.
We're not having that conversation.
You don't even ask. It never even comes up.
Right.
So for women, it doesn't
Exactly.
matter. Yeah.
So it's a problem?
The only time
For
I've
what?
ever, the only time anybody's body has like mattered is if it is somebody that we like both know. And if it's like too close to home, that's the only time it's become a problem.
Okay.
And that makes sense. That would make sense.
Yeah. I think this is what I do know. Especially I could speak for, without saying names, like I guess like I'm a dude and the men that I know. The first guy's question, a lot of guys really do care about, do I know them? As for a man and his ego and his pride and his whatever you want to call it, when there's another guy, especially that's a little close to home, that can say that he's had your woman, it seems to really bother men. And you know what? And to be honest with you, it can bother women too.
No, for sure.
Exactly. And Seattle's small.
Because they feel like they have some kind of claim over me, or it's like, you know, well, I had it first, or you know, and it's just like, that doesn't mean anything.
I'm not an object that you conquered and had. I'm a human being, and we both made a consensual decision to have sex together. If it didn't work out, we moved on, and that's the end of it.
You don't want me bragging. Right? You don't want me bragging to your girl. Like,
I'm gonna brag to everybody. Oh yeah, I fucked that nigga 10 years ago. Right?
You know,
it was cool.
I made that nigga like I wrote his face. So what you gonna do about it?
Yeah. Ooh, that's mine.
Who does that?
I know that's mine. Like, that's whack. Nobody's doing that.
Oh my God. Y'all made me lose my train of thought. Oh my goodness. No, I definitely, that is whack. And I can say like for okay, so a couple of things. For me personally, what in my experience, I don't know for sure because I don't ask. Like for me, ignorance is bliss. I don't even want to know.
Right.
But what I've noticed is that typically like some girls that just seem really experienced because it's better with them. You know,
obviously.
Like
but you know what you sign up for.
But I'm saying like there's some girls that, okay, it's like you got to ask yourself, how'd she get so good? Like, I mean, she probably has experience. So to me and whoever I assume to have a high body count, like I'm like, okay, well the sex is better. You know what I mean? So it's like that's just how I feel.
Don't make assumptions like that.
It's not fair. It's not fair.
Yeah.
It's not fair, but I'm saying like you got to ask, okay, like if I'm not even telling her to do certain things, if I don't even say anything and she just, it's almost like, you know, like, I mean, we're on the naughty night. We could talk
pretty
about
naughty.
Okay, but hear me out.
She whips out moves like it's a Pornhub video. And now, mind you, I'm not complaining.
Everybody watches Pornhub.
Mind you, I'm not complaining. I'm like, oh shit, dope. But I'm like, I gotta ask myself, okay, I didn't teach her all this shit. You know what I mean? So it's like,
what if she is like a virgin who gets herself off all the time and she watches Pornhub and she thinks that's what dudes like? Because that's what Pornhub does to people. Think that they like shit like, I don't know, seeing people fuck their step siblings and shit.
Okay, yeah.
I'm just like, what?
What the fuck type of porn are they posting?
I watch that stuff. I watch that stuff sometimes. They
have everything on there, and it's wild. And I watch it, so obviously I know. I don't recommend it for impressionable children.
No, but I get I totally get that position. I guess with dudes, it's I don't want to make it. It's the double standard of the century. You know what I'm saying?
So like it also, I feel like it just depends too, because like I didn't get told that like I was good at head until after I had like broken up with my second boyfriend. So like I had probably maybe only had given oral to like 3 people by that point. And like it was maybe the 4th or 5th person that was like, no, that shit was fire. And I was like, oh, okay. Like I'm good. Okay. Like I am good at this. Like I don't know that until like you're not giving me that like feedback. Like, you feel me?
Facts.
So it's like, sure, maybe I might have like been doing it for a long time with these people, and like maybe of course that's why I've gotten better, but it's just like I didn't know that like I was that good, even though I had only sucked maybe 3 dicks in my life.
Yeah. And then that's actually you're proving me wrong right there, because he could have thought like, damn, she's super fire, like maybe she's, but you've only been with like 3 guys or did it to 3 guys. So I guess that like kind of kills my point that I was trying to make.
I like the point. I feel like your point kind of like goes to kind of a bit of,
because like you're not the only guy that probably has that
I don't want to
thought.
bash men, but it's a bit of like, for me, it sounds like fragile masculinity. Like it just sounds like it threatens your masculinity for us to like own our sexuality. And even if we've only been with one man, but we're good at it, or 75 men
and we're good at
it, it's always going to be a problem regardless.
Now there's a guy off the poll. There's a guy off the poll who brought up a really interesting point. Actually, he was on the poll. The body count though can also tell you about other things that maybe like you guys might think are trivial, but what if she's at 75 plus and she was in one 6-year relationship and one 4-year relationship? That's numbers aren't really like adding up, right? You know what I'm saying? So
well, of course not.
So that's another thing that could tell you, like, is this you know, like, I guess it's kind of like a job resume or something, you know what I mean? Like he's looking at it as like, okay, well, what's she gonna do to me when I ask her to be my girlfriend? Right. Is she gonna jump up to 130? You know what I mean?
Right.
Shit like that. So that was just an interesting point.
You know
what I mean? You're like, she's like,
no, we missed you. We lost you for a second.
You got me?
Yeah. Are you there?
Yeah.
I think it's an interesting point. I think that question is great. For me personally, to answer your question on how it made me feel, I don't know. It just always upsets me. Like to see men.
It always upsets you when you hear about that.
Yeah, well, just stuff generally around that. Like I loved the question, but I always want to think that people are, you know, evolved past that type of stuff.
Right.
Like we don't care because people are not asking these questions. We're all here having like frivolous sex with each other. Nobody's really being in committed relationships, but you guys still have a problem if a woman has a high body count. Like that's like, where we're at.
Right. Or it's like, you know, why should that dictate anything?
Okay. Like she's still a good woman.
And that's part, I don't want to be cliche. That's part of the reason why I asked, and B, why I phrased it the way that I asked it, is because the point of the question, the whole point of the question was to start by saying she's perfect. Now, no one's perfect, but to start by saying, if it wasn't for this, you'd be like, oh dude, I'm going to commit to her tomorrow. And the point was to kind of show, you know what I'm saying? Because I kind of had a feeling of how the outcome would be. But actually it kind of surprised me because over half said that they still wouldn't give a fuck. You know what I mean? So you gotta give credit to those dudes. Yeah.
I do like that.
At the same time, like, who are you to dictate? It's like still that 44% that wants to dictate a woman, like what a woman's gonna do with her body.
Exactly.
And what's okay. Like that's the part that I don't
hard to get over.
Appreciate.
Yeah.
No, I hear you. Especially when I read you one of the other comments.
Oh God.
So tell me what you guys think about this one. Hold on. Oh, it's all about the new inbox or even new inbox, not heavy use like a pair of hand-me-down flip-flops.
Was that English?
It was like a bar.
Yeah. Was that rap?
Yeah. It was poetry.
Was that like a haiku? I don't.
Dead ass.
That's how he felt about it.
No. What did you take? What did literally? What did he say? I don't understand what he was saying.
Oh, sorry. So what he's saying, he's comparing, I guess, like the vag to like a pair of shoes or like a pair of Jordans, saying it's all about the new inbox. We want the like either or even newer inbox. We don't want hand-me-down flip-flops.
They don't. No, you don't.
No, that's
it's a lie.
Yeah, because here's the thing. I know women.
That is false.
Women who are like out here in their 40s, whatever, have had however many in their lives, are dicking down niggas in their 20s.
Right.
And that shit is just as good.
You want
just as fucking
gonna
good.
Write it.
Stop.
Cowgirl style. Megan Thee Stallion style.
Oh.
Shut the fuck
Bye.
up.
Wait. So you guys know, I'm not gonna read all of them, but you know the girls came in. The girls, you know, okay, and that's one thing I gotta say right now. Like, I love the women on my page. They get shit cracking. They turn it the fuck up, and they will come in and eliminate shit. So, needless to say, I can't even read all of them because they started spazzing on these dudes so hard. But there was one chick who kind of like, I guess, summarizes one of the points that you guys just made. I think this is something that should not even be asked. I've been with my boyfriend for 6 years, and we have not once talked about this. Why?
Right.
A woman's body was created to birth children. Keeping that in mind should indicate if a woman's vagina would change from the amount of sexual partners. Some people are stupid as fuck. So
thank you.
Yeah,
I
but
think that's the takeaway
Right.
point. We end on
Period.
that. Exclamation
Okay.
point.
Okay, so there was that one. So the next one that I wanted to ask you guys about. Okay, so this one was asked. A guy told me to ask this. These are all anonymous. Obviously, people just ask or answer questions all anonymously. And this one was a pretty interesting one as well, which I wanted to get you guys' take on. So he asked, if a man had a personal probation period that he didn't spend money on you, 90 days, could you still date him?
Wait, what?
I
Like
saw that.
his own personal
It's
probation?
his
Yeah.
question.
Oh,
If
like
a
he has
man,
like a 90-day.
if he basically was like, he's like, we're going Dutch, I'm not paying for you until you pass my personal probation period.
And he told me,
I guess so, yeah.
fine, I'll boss up and pay for that nigga for 90 days.
Really?
Then
If
I feel like,
him,
yeah, no, I feel that for me,
if I like him,
that would have to be on a situational basis. If I'm really into you, yeah, I would boss
I'll
up
treat
and bite the
you.
bullet for sure.
Let me cater to
But at
you.
the same time, it's like I don't feel like I'm not somebody who I feel like presents himself in a way that you feel like you would need to like have some kind of 90-day stipulation. Like
Oh, say that's
I'm just saying I don't have expectations of you to ball out on me or anything like that, but it's like the fact that you have to quote unquote control to not want to
I don't
give
think
any
that it's you though.
His point, his point
His
is
is more
that
like a
in the past he's done all of that and gone on date and to where he felt like he was either used or it was a waste of time and money. And so
Right.
he's basically saying, I guess until I can trust and know that you're like here for real and not
Right.
just to use me to get free food, we're
Right.
either gonna not he's not saying you're gonna pay, he's saying we're gonna go Dutch. And so
Yeah.
now I'm not gonna read all of them. A lot of women had issues with that, a bunch didn't like it. They were like, fuck that shit, X, Y, and Z, X, Y, and Z. I can read it if you want. But I wanted to know, how you two felt about it. And so Tay's saying she wouldn't care.
I don't. I've paid for a date before.
No, that's what I mean. Yeah,
I took a dude on a date because I wanted to go on a date with him.
Nice.
And
Wow.
so like, yeah, for me, it's like, I don't care. Like, if that's what I want, that's what we're doing.
Right.
Okay.
That's never been a thing for me. That's what I mean. So it's
Yeah.
like the fact that it's like to me it's almost offensive. That's how I feel. I feel like it's offensive. Because
You feel like the question's almost offensive.
just the
gesture.
The
If a
ge-
guy
right.
to come up and be like, we're going Dutch for the next 90 days.
You feel like his reasoning behind it is offensive.
I know that no, that's what
In
I
general to ask.
No,
Okay.
that I can understand because I understand that men get used left and right every single day. I
Yes.
totally understand that and get that,
Yeah.
I just know for me in my situations, like that's not anything that I've never ever like needed to encounter. Or like if somebody gets that impression from me that they feel like they want to go into this with me like that, I don't want it. That kind of to me would be a turn off.
Okay. Fair enough.
It's like, oh, I have to pass a test. Like,
I mean,
Yeah.
but they
like,
have to pass a test too.
Right. No, exactly.
I feel like that's dope. I'm about to implement that shit. 90-day.
See, and that's it's his own personal thing.
But here's the thing: women aren't expected to spend money. So
Exactly.
you withholding money for 90 days is nothing.
Yeah, it's okay. This is how I feel, in my opinion as a man. I feel like I don't know. Maybe I'm old school. Maybe I'm not. I feel like straight off the rip, a dude has to pay for the first date. It just is what it is. I'm just old school. I'm that way. Huh?
If he's the one that asks,
yes,
absolutely.
Yes, he has to pay. Like she cannot open her wallet for shit on that first time around.
Say it's the first date and she asked you, you're still paying? Or
I'm still paying.
Can I pay?
No, me personally, I'm still paying.
Okay, so regardless, first date you're paying.
Yeah, if she says, "Hey, like I want to hang out," I'm paying.
Okay.
Second time around, I want her to reach for her wallet and act like she's gonna try, but I'm still gonna pay.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I always.
That's the second one. I'm still gonna get all of it, but at least act like you're going to try, right? And then on the third one, like maybe we could go Dutch. You know what I'm saying? And then that's how I am.
I'm just kind of like.
In my last relationship, we went Dutch a lot. That wasn't ever like Okay. That's half and half, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. Yeah. we would go Dutch a lot. So that was never ever like a thing for me. Yeah.
Dutch wasn't a thing for you?
No.
Yeah.
We were also
Okay.
both very much in like the same tax bracket, so it was like it made sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. That's So that question, um, it was like a lot of like, I guess, informative answers from the girls, like how they would feel, and then it turned like naturally turned into a bunch of arguing and people beefing
Of
and arguing.
course, right.
Okay. So we got time for another one.
Let's do one more.
Yeah,
Okay, one more. Which
because this is a
I
great conversation.
I'm enjoying it. So I guess this is another one that I wanted to ask for the two of you, which I'm sure you've dealt with in some capacity, which was also, I felt like, a pretty healthy conversation. So in terms of men pursuing you, and you might have the times that you pursue a man, and you might be feeling some type of way and you go for him or whatever. In terms of a man pursuing you, what are the lines between not enough effort, persistent, and going overboard?
Oh.
So if there's a guy that like you're like, okay, like I get you're trying to like, but what's like a healthy amount of persistence and just going too far? Like, dude, you're doing too much.
That
And
one's
I'm
hard.
asking because it's 2020 and
Right.
it's sensitive times, and I feel like the line is really thin, and guys are scared.
Yeah.
Guys are scared to come to go to I guess pursue a woman because they're afraid that she's gonna go tell all of her friends that he's a creep. You know what I'm saying? So
Absolutely.
a lot of guys want to know the answer to that question. You know what I mean?
I feel that one. I feel like this one's a little hard for me to answer because I feel like it's situational based.
That part.
It's very situational based for me. Like it depends on the guy for one, and the energy. Like if I feel like there's a lot of guys that will slide into like your DMs and they just like feel like they are obligated to a response from you
and entitled to
they're
interaction.
already I slid in, I've shot my shot, and I deserve like a full game now. And I'm like, I don't even know who you are,
Yes.
to be honest. And I'm that way. Like I don't really interact with people I don't know like that. That's just who I am. And so when people come to me and they're like, oh, you're really pretty, and I'm like, thank you so much, but then it's like, hey darling, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and I'm like, who are you and where'd you even come from? First of all,
what's your
I
snap?
don't know you.
What's your number?
And
Do
I'm
you
not
have
interested.
Facebook?
Yeah.
We should and then like missed Instagram video calls for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Like
and
that
then
part's so
generally
weird.
those are the same guys that will then call you an ugly ass bitch, or you don't have to be rude, or this, that, and the third. When and generally I try to be nice to all of them.
Same.
I'm like, hey, like I'm not really interested, thanks though for telling me I'm pretty. That was cool. Thank you. I always try to show love, but then it gets to that point where like you either ignore them or you say something when you're finally like, I've had enough of this. And then you're an ugly ass bitch, you're rude, you're this, you're that. And it just gets to that point to where it's like, why do I have to protect your feelings?
Yeah.
You came into my inbox.
I didn't ask for any of this.
None of this.
None. Yeah. I didn't ask for shit.
I was keeping it cute.
Yeah.
Okay. And you couldn't even take a hint, even if I'm fucking reading you. Hey, I'm not interested. You still don't take the hint. And that to me is like, don't do that. Like if a girl is outright like, hey, probably not interested, or if she's not even responding to you, leave it. Yeah. Don't keep pressing. Maybe if it's like, hey, you're pretty, and maybe it's a comment, maybe you just like her shit all the time. I don't know, but there is just like something to me that is just so like, it makes me like my skin crawl when guys come into my DMs and then somehow it gets flipped to the they're the victim.
Yeah.
And I'm
you guys are the bad guy, the bad people.
And I'm like, you're harassing me.
Yeah. I had this guy who I needed to block because he called me pregnant after I like told him.
What?
Yeah. He was like, oh, how many months along are you?
Oh my Lord.
After I had like, so here's the thing, he had like DM'd me, and then again it was like one of those things where I was like, oh, like thank you, whatever, and then was like, oh, we need to chat sometime, like what's your number, then messaged me like his number, and then was like Instagram video chatting me, and then had sent me like dick pics, unsolicited dick pics. And then at that point I blocked him, And then and like I had to like posted something on my close friends list, like, has anyone else been bothered by this dude, because like this is just too fucking much. And like
Oh my
one of my really close friends like actually was like, yeah, actually, like he's been in my inbox too, like, yeah, just like literally, and then was like, and then somehow came back around. I have a couple of different like Instagram pages, and that's when he like came back around and was like, oh, like how many months along are you, after I had already like been blocked him because of just, again, like, didn't ask for any of that. I did not
So
ask for him.
he went into his cave and was like, I gotta think of something that's really gonna get under his skin. That's exactly what happened.
Right, so you're gonna
Just
insinuate that I'm fat? Thanks.
I think
no, but he obviously he knows that's not the case. He went,
Yeah.
he was hurt and he went into his cave and he was like, he probably came up with 10 lines. Okay, which one is the one that's really gonna piss her off? And for whatever reason, he chose that one. But
I want. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I feel like for me personally, I only run into these types of situations of like persistence to the point of like dropping it on the internet. Like, in real life, it's not. There's been a couple of guys, but
I know exactly who.
Tell me.
Wait, no, I want
to. I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
We can tell like a story, but like I want to say real quick from my perspective as far as like what's too much versus like not enough is like I was somebody who like back in the day, I would say like older me before I would have like say more experience. If I was like if we were like talking, I'd want to like be talking to you all the time. You know, we were like texting like not all day, but like we were at least in contact like every day. And like that's not necessarily something that I feel like you need to do like as an adult.
Absolutely not.
You know, and it's like, and for me, it's one of those things to where it's like it makes it even more sweet when you do like get hit up or like hear from them, because we're not talking 24/7, or it's like, you know, I'm on your mind, like that's sweet, or like, hey, I like something you saw made you think of me or something like that, you know. And that's something that like I can appreciate, you know. We don't need to be on each other's ass 24/7. That's okay. I'm doing my own thing, you're doing your own thing.
Okay, so I have to ask. So we're you, like, especially you two, but most of us are pretty busy. You know, we work jobs, we do extracurriculars, we have friends, we have social groups, family. So like you'll get these, especially just being a man, like say there might be a girl who you might be pursuing and she'll answer like one day and then, hey, sorry, it was busy, and then 2 days later, and then, and so as a guy, right?
Oh, no.
As you don't know, but you don't know if it's like, as a guy, you don't know if it's like, hey, she's giving me the runaround because she's trying to give me a hint, or she's actually so busy that she can't talk. And so as a guy, I'm saying it's scary for a dude. You don't want to be in that category that they're group chatting about you, like, yo, y'all know this nigga? Like, who is this? No dude wants to be that guy.
No. So I was meaning in the sense of like, no, like there's expressed interest.
I think that's the key.
No, there's expressed interest. If we've not been able to hang out because quote unquote COVID, we've at least had a couple of FaceTime conversations. Or we might have done like a socially distanced something. That's what I was like, you know, like talking about.
Cool.
Initially, that's one of those things where it's like, take a fucking hint. Like
really
read the room, take a hint. Read. Come on, I don't know how many times you need to see scene to get it.
That scene thing is like, that's
so for me it's one of those things too, to where it's like I do have like relationships or like friendships, and where it's like I know that they would probably like for it to be more than that, and I'm not trying to give them that hint, you know. So it's like based on like their interaction with me, and this is purely, I would say, on like social media, based on their interaction with me, I might respond every so often just to make sure that it's like they still know that like we're cool and all, you know. But I'm not gonna sit here and like, you know, respond to the hard eyes and like all that kind of stuff. No, you know what I mean? Like
I do.
Yeah, like let you know, like we're so cool, and like I definitely want you to know that. But like I don't need you to get any other ideas.
No, seriously. And like as in certain scenarios, like say if you know like a chick is pretty lit, like if you know a chick that you're trying to like spit at is like pretty lit, you know her DMs are probably pretty lit to where who knows how she probably never fully reads through and opens all her DMs. You know what I mean? And so if she's even making an effort.
Because here's the okay, stop.
No, but look, if she's if she's even responded, like to me, I'm saying if a chick is lit, if there is a chick that like I'm talking to or whatever, and she's lit, I'll know like if she like consistently responds, whether it's daily or whether it's like every hour or whether it's every other day. Yo, I know like she's fishing through some fucking messages.
Right. And
so
she's like, oh, I know that.
Compliment.
Right. I know that name, you know,
Yeah,
like, yes.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Fact.
I feel that.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
I don't think that I'm popping like that.
She's famous.
She's humble.
She always says that. No, see, that's the thing.
You're being humble, girl. It's okay. You can say it.
But when you said that, I immediately related because you're absolutely right. I definitely don't like feel like I respond to all of my like DMs and and things like that.
I'm not that
I believe it.
I'm not that popular. I just be having my mom and my friend Megan sending me.
I think that you two are just super humble, which makes you even more dope. Yeah, yes. Because look, I can say it for you. How about this?
I'm a Leo. I am far from humble.
Yeah.
If you two are gonna sit here and say that you're not lit, you know you're fucking lying through this camera screen.
Oh, you're so sweet.
No, I know I'm lit.
I'm over here getting all hot.
I know I'm lit, but
she constantly has to remind me that I'm lit. So
she's famous.
I'm not.
She's trying to play games. I'm like, she'll say like, somebody like retweeted me, and I'm like, girl, you're famous. These are your peers. Like,
are you surprised by that, Jazz? Like, you go sit and act surprised by that?
No, they should have retweeted you, girl.
Literally this morning, I ran to like show her something, and she was like, "I'm gonna need you to stop getting this excited because
that's your peer."
Oh my goodness.
You're next.
You need to wake up, seriously. But in all seriousness, so like I'm glad that we got to talk about all of that because like just getting two women's perspective on like is really interesting. And it's like I love hearing and learning you know, some of the stuff that you guys had to say. And aside from that, I just wanted to say on a serious note, you two like have like seriously stepped up as like leaders in this city for like social justice and like serious issues. And I'm like a huge fan, and I fuck with like a lot of the stuff you do and say, and more of it is needed. And I really hope that you guys like keep it up. Like seriously,
I need my makeup. I don't need to cry.
No, seriously, like you guys are always one of the first to speak up, one of the first to do something, one of the first to move, and like I really, really respect it. It inspires me, and just keep it going and keep pushing. Like real talk, for real.
Thank you.
I'm like 4 shots deep of tequila at this point. Also, I just want to put that out there. So these tears don't mean anything.
That's why I keep laughing.
They don't mean shit. Okay.
I think I've laughed this whole episode
just to prevent from like crying.
Thank you, though.
Thank you so much.
That means
really.
a lot.
Yeah,
thank you.
Of course. I mean, every word, man.
On that note, we need to close out because
thank you, Marcus, so much for coming on our and being our very first guest on Pretty Naughty. This was a lot of fun having you host and us sitting back and just being real as fuck. It reminds me of
normal times.
First year podcasting and out the bedroom.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was a blast. Like, thank you so much for having me. Like,
yeah, thank you.
Yeah, honestly, it was like an honor, and thanks for asking me to come on. Like, I would do it, you know, again, like in a heartbeat. So I appreciate it. Yeah.
Oh, you're sweet. Thank you.
Before we jump off, though, go ahead and plug yourself.
Oh, look, on Instagram at Marcus G Baby, Snapchat Marcus G Baby. We got the weekly surveys, the weekly polls, questions. We just want to know your answers. Our questions, love your answers. Everything is anonymous. And honestly, I feel like you'll be pretty entertained. So go ahead and follow and join.
Absolutely.
So,
I always am.
We're gonna like get clips from this too, and definitely send them over to you so that you can put on your platform and have people sound off on them.
Cool.
Right. As they do. As they so often do, right?
That's the best way to put it.
All right. Thank you for tuning into another episode of Pretty Naughty. We will catch you guys next time.
Dude.
Bye.
Peace.
See you later.